I wanted to start with, well, in order to be fully surrendered, you need to, and then go on with what I was going to talk about today. But I know that's not a possibility. Just like faith is a practice, surrender is a practice. And that's why we have this time together to really work on things that can help us surrender more fully to our Lord, to our Jesus, to our time, to our weight, and to everything. And in order to practice surrendering and letting stuff go and giving it to God, you have to have time with Him. And I'm so proud of you, because right now what you're doing, that's time with God. That is having a heart and a desire to get closer and closer to Him by journaling and doing devotions. But He wants more. He needs more. And so do you. Two of the things that I picked up when we were doing missionary work in Mexico really deal with time, reduction of stress, and being able to spend more time hearing Him and being with Him and being within His will. The first one is the 15-minute rule. I need you to go into your journal today and pull out your calendar at the same time. And I need you to make sure that you don't have anything that goes from this meeting to this meeting to this meeting, this appointment, this appointment, this appointment, here. I really have only 15 minutes to get from one place to the other, and it's really probably going to take me 20, but that's okay. We need to stop that. We need to have some margin. I decided as I was leaving Mexico, actually before that, because of everything that we'd experienced and just the slower pace of life down there as missionaries, that everything was going to have 15 minutes in between it. So if I had this appointment, I wasn't going to make another one for 15 minutes. If I had to get to this location, I was going to make sure I got there 15 minutes early, or I had a 15-minute buffer. And the reason why that's super, super important is because that allows you to slow down. And when you're slowed down, there's more time for pause. And when there's more time for pause, there's more time to hear the Lord. If you're rushing, and your cortisol is up here, and it's making you have belly fat, and it's making you have brain fog, and you're crazy, you're not going to hear the Lord. So the first one's the 15-minute rule. So go into your calendar, write down how you can cut out all of the back to back. And some of you are saying, but you don't know my job, and you don't know my life and my kids and my schedule. And yes, I do, because we all have that. You can do it. It's important enough to the Lord. You can do it. The other one is a sabbatical day, and that might actually be harder for most of you. One day with nothing. And it should be Sunday. That's what is kind of biblically relevant, is Sunday is the day that we give to God. And I think we all kind of know that. But in the United States specifically, we've stopped doing that. Sunday is a day for this meeting, that meeting, rushing here, rushing there. Even church has become a job or a thing that needs to be done. When we were living in Mexico, because there were so many missionaries and they were everywhere around us, and Sunday was such a big day for everybody because it's kind of our day, it was never Sunday. That was never the sabbatical day. It was usually Monday or a Tuesday or something like that. Your day doesn't have to be the same day every single week, but go into your calendar, and at least for the next 2 months, write down one day a week where there will be nothing. Nothing meaning no meetings. Nothing meaning no phone call appointments, no doctor's appointments, no going to the DMV, or no even, hey, that's the day I'm supposed to go get gas. Nothing. No kids' sports. No kids' appointments. If you're raising, I've got a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old out there, and a 7-year-old out there. Do you know how many activities they have? But it's because I allow it, because we as a family value that stuff. But what we value more than anything is not sports, is not their enrichment. It's not. And that doesn't make me a bad parent. What we value more than anything is time with the Lord and time with our family. So we can make it so that one day a week there is nothing. And if it can be your Sunday, that's great. But if it can't, then it needs to be another day, and that needs to be the day that it's a sabbatical day for you. And maybe your family's not going to follow along. Mine doesn't always. But I'm mom, and I hold the car keys. So I'm not taking anybody anywhere. I'm not making any plans to leave the house. Now, when we get into that sabbatical day, if something comes up and we decide, oh, we want to go to Target, or, I want to go for a walk with a friend in that day, then I'll do that in that day, because that's where the Lord is leading me. But there are no appointments on sabbatical day. And I also don't do social media on sabbatical day. It's completely cut off as well. And I would love for many of you to take it a step further and do things like no iPads and no tablets and no TV on your sabbatical day. But what you're going to do today is brainstorm really what those days look like to you. When can your sabbatical day be? What are you going to do? And what you're going to find is having that margin in your life, the 15-minute rule on the sabbatical, it's going to give you more of a chance to listen to the Lord. It's going to give you more of a chance to be quiet, to be still, and to let him lead you. Those days have been so special to me since I've gotten back, because it's when he comes to me and I write more, I do more videos, I have more talks with my kids. Sometimes I'm just reading. It really is a day of rest. You have to rest your head, the craziness that goes on in this world, in order to hear from him. So write down in your journal this morning, in your devotions, sabbatical and 15-minute rule, and figure out how you can make them work, and brainstorm some of the ideas. And if it sounds so far out and crazy to you, brainstorm them anyway and pray on them and see how the Lord can lead you to find more margin in your life so that you can fully surrender to him.